Well, welcome back, everybody. Today's episode is gonna have so many civil wars, bro. So many civil wars are about to happen this episode. It's actually crazy. So, first things first, Saigon. Actually, not Saigon. First, we're gonna start with a little warm up, like always. There's gonna be a little new country popping up. Basically, north of Namibia, a bunch of people are going to start getting scared of the blue team. And so, a small little country that's basically just going to be Angola. I'll just call it Angola. Angola is like right above Namibia, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Namibia in real life is like down here, and then this is all Angola, but we're just pushing it all a little bit north in this, I guess. Okay, I don't like how they're this close to the blue team. Realistically, they probably are going to be trying to stay as far from the blue team as possible. Now, this country is actually going to be made with the money of Namibia, so we'll just give it a Namibian color. Let's put the Namibian color on the ocean, and then let's take that and put it on white. That's a good color. Okay, let's maybe darken it up a little bit. Like, let's let's put it right here. Take some black. Take the color back, and then. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, maybe let's make that a little bit lighter. Okay, and then a little bit more blue. Okay, a little bit more blue. Okay, let's see it now. That looks pretty good, I guess. Actually, let's make it a little bit whiter just so it doesn't like look like the ocean. That looks more like the ocean. Let's make it maybe more blue, honestly. Okay, that's good. Anyway, so yeah, these guys, and as you can see, their capital is gonna be like right here, actually, a little bit landlocked, and looks like it's like a little city inside of Namibia. Anyway, we can move on to some real fun stuff now. So, Saigon. Oh my god. East Asia this episode is Southeast no, yeah, East Asia and Southeast Asia, just like all of this. The Asian storyline today is going to collapse completely. So Saigon, now having been both cut off by the blue team completely and also with Shanghai now given so much confidence by their new alliance with the Mamluks, Shanghai has been starting to ramp up military over here, and people are overall just sick of the Saigon government. Saigon decides to do the most stupidest thing ever. They basically forcefully conscript a lot of people and they decide to launch one last naval invasion of the capital of the blue teams, a blue team in this entire area, which is their base of operations right here. They launch that and they capture the thing. And after the actually no, they don't even capture it. They just send the navy here. The navy is intercepted and completely destroyed. Those who are able to make it back are very mad. And yeah, overall not a good situation. So that leads to immediate blue team sanctions, and then after that, now this thing is like not that big of a deal because like military like naval clashes around in here is like not that like yeah. Next thing they do, they basically start like going to Shanghai and they're like, you know what, give us all of this south land or we will invade. And the people at this point are like, no, you won't, nuh-uh. We do not want an invasion of Shanghai. So eventually, from what starts as protests against the government, after actually goes really wrong because the government they basically just jail and oof everybody that's in the protests, and these happen in Hong Kong. And from there, the first signs of civil war begin, and a rebel government emerges, taking over all of Hong Kong and declaring war on the main government, basically calling for the complete dissolution of Saigon itself. Now, within Saigon, there's a lot of nationalist ideas spreading around the capital, and people are basically saying that the government is not able to handle this country properly, so maybe we should handle it. And that leads to the encirclement of these guys. Now, these rebels are different than the other rebels. These rebels are, actually, we'll color them dark gray. So, these rebels, what they want is different. They want the government to like capitulate and a new state to emerge as the successor of Saigon and a new like thing that will basically take control of these lands and actually make Saigon a better place. while these guys, they just want to completely dissolute it and like just make new countries out of this land and just like no longer even have one main country in here. Quickly in the east, where there's already a lot of rebels, these guys gain popularity, and these guys don't, not really as much. They get pretty like kind of popular around the rich capital areas, which leads to them being able to capture the capital area. But from there, they have a really hard time trying to spread anywhere else, just because a lot of people really don't want any more countries in Saigon. They just want there to be no more Saigon. So yeah, these guys, they're gonna spread pretty far. They're actually going to capture all of this, and then from here, the rest of that is going to collapse to the other rebels, and the two are going to already begin fighting. Meanwhile, over here, another group rebels and joins the coalition. This is all like a coalition trying to dissolute the entire country, like dissolve it. Yeah. Anyway, they push up, they capture all of this, and then they're able to just capitulate the rest. So now, as of now, Saigon has officially fallen. These guys, they try to like invade a little bit deep over here. They're not able to. They actually get pushed way far back. And after realizing that they're about to lose completely, they basically say, let's take this to the main table and let's agree over there what we want to do with this. So, taking a look at this peace treaty, um, first things first, let's establish the border of the successor state, which is this, and because they lost that, they, I guess, only will get only this. Actually, hmm, how do I want to do this exactly? So, they're going to get, yeah, that is now Saigon. All the rest of this, it's all like, it's all a new country. So, firstly, the original state, Hong Kong, they're going to get their independence. Then another state right here. All this south is actually going to be split up just a little bit, north and south. Actually, no, it's going to be split up a lot. However, there's going to be like there's going to be military leaders who are going to be trying to fight for that. Over here, a pretty big major state is going to break out of this. That's going to be really big and major. What am I saying, bro? A big and major state is going to break out of this. That's going to be really big and major. Yep. So yeah, that's gonna happen, and then this state is going to kind of exist, I guess. So okay, so now there's all these different states, and we need colors for all of them. Firstly, Saigon. I guess I'll just take the actual Saigon color and make it blacker. Okay, that is the new Saigon. Capital, yeah. Oh, also, yeah, the capital. I'm going to have to like definitely remove. Like that capital is capital is gonna get switched out because they do not want the same capital as the old government. Anyway, these guys, they were kind of the originals who started this entire thing. So I'm going to put the Saigon color on brown. Then let's put this on black. Darken it up a bit. That is the new country right there. Let's just take the Saigon color and let's make it green for these guys. Actually, let's just take that, make it. Yeah, that's what these. Oh, that's a fire color. I like that. Yeah, that's going to be our color scheme. Keeping it nice color scheme in here. Okay, these two look way too alike, so we'll put that in blue. Okay, that's done. Then over here, another different green country. Then let's put that on yellow. That's something we have not yet done. Yup. Okay. Actually, that looks a lot like Somalia. So let's make that different. And then let's just keep on going. There's going to be these guys. There's probably going to be some purple guys, probably just like that. Let's give a completely like let's give a mix between green. Okay. Okay. Done. The entirety of Saigon now has colors. Now let's assign their capitals. So firstly, these guys, they're going to pick a pretty important city for their capital, and that city is going to be really closely aligned with the blue team. I don't like how you can't see that. Maybe we should make these guys just a teensy bit darker so you can actually see the gray. Okay. That's done. These guys, Hong Kong, their capital is just gonna be Hong Kong. These guys, their capital is right here. These guys' capital is right. Actually, they're gonna play it smart. They're gonna go a little bit more inwards so they don't get invaded as easily. All these guys are like their entire population probably lives in their capital. And then Saigon, they're gonna the successor state of Saigon. They're just gonna choose probably the least destroyed city because yeah, the protests in here are pretty bad right now still. Like they're basically at risk of losing this and then losing this. Like currently, that's a risk that they're trying to fight to just maintain control over that. Next up, we got Japan. They're gonna have a pretty deadly civil war as well. Except this one, it's gonna be different. This one is going to be not. It's not gonna start out dissolutionary. Like it's not gonna. They're not gonna be trying to dissolve the country. They basically want Japan to become a colonial power like it used to be, and they're gonna start from obviously the colony. They're gonna completely capture all of that, and it's also Japan's only colony. Now, basically, we've been watching this series for a while. Japan used to own all of. Let me draw it in. They used to basically own all of this, and that's not it. They also used to own Taiwan. They also used to own like this. So basically, they used to look kind of like this. Yeah, they used to kind of look like this. But as you can see, they have completely lost all of that and have now become a pretty small, tiny little country. They're also been sanctioned by the entire world because no one likes them and no one wants to trade with them. So their economy has died. Their only chance at a revival was the colonization of Siberia, which got, as you can see, blocked off by their worst enemy. So yeah, quickly it becomes really bad. And the rebels, they're able to make a landing on the main island. Now, as this is happening, Shanghai basically does something that's going to completely change the entire scape of this. They're going to choose to support the rebels in a different way. They're basically going to start pumping up rebel opinion everywhere else. One of these places is going to be right here, the center of Tokyo, except it's going to get taken over by another rival thing. That's going to basically reference how Japan, all their cities used to be really good, like really overpowered, and they used to their peak used to be when they were all split up. And this is actually going to start gaining a lot of traction with a lot of people saying that even if that since Japan as a whole has failed every single time now, maybe let's just carve it up so all of us can have good lives. And also, another problem is going to be everyone's going to be trying to like take power and like within these rebels themselves a lot of stuff is going to be happening. So these rebels themselves are going to have an assassination. Their leader is going to be assassinated. Uh these guys, they're the Shanghai, they're going to basically figure out who assassinated him. They're going to trace them back to another uh rebel group that's not yet captured a lot of land over here. They're going to invade and they're going to completely destroy that group. But in doing that, they're going to basically made all their Japanese rebel allies mad. And the Japanese rebel allies, they're basically going to turn on the colonialists and they're going to start fighting against the colonialists. And at first, this looks like a good thing. First, you might be asking, Zillion, why is this going to lead to the dissolution of Japan? Well, watch. Firstly, all of that falls, and that leads to Japanese government regaining control of all of this for a little bit, because all the gang fighting stops for a little bit. Then the rebels strike one more time. Shanghai has pulled out now. The government is in a state of shock. Dissolutionists take over. They basically say, you know what? There shouldn't be a Japan. The way Japan is handling this, the way Shanghai keeps getting involved, there shouldn't be a Japan. And this sentiment is going to grow really popular because the Japanese Empire thing, well, that was getting its support from Shanghai. And now that everyone's turned on Shanghai, they kind of refuse to really like believe in the idea of either the government because they hate the government and also the colonialists because they were supported by Shanghai. So quickly, large majorities of Northern Island fall and dissolutionists. Now these guys, they're not that dissolutionist. Dissolutionism spreads really fast. Firstly, in these guys' own thing, the current leader is replaced by a military leader who supports it even more and forms a coalition of this. And then also, while this was all happening, the Saigon stuff happens. And that really changes a lot. Because when Saigon happens, kind of gives these guys all an idea. And a giant coalition is formed against these guys who just want to basically topple the government, kind of like release some states. and another coalition now pops up, and they gain popularity fast. They want to completely dismember Japan and turn it into a bunch of city states just like Saigon. They're quickly able to completely take control even of the brown parts, like the other rebel group, and basically all goes wrong for the government when Tokyo is captured and the king is killed. A lot of government officials are bribed to basically join or either say or endorse these guys, which leads to the spread even faster, capturing all of this, defeating the Japanese at their last stand, and basically organizing the destruction of Japan. Now, from within here, the original plan was to dissolute slowly. However, a horrible civil war happens once more. Basically, all the kings who these guys paid to support them, they all start breaking apart, and basically the process is forced to be done way faster, which leads to a lot of people not becoming a part of the country they thought they were going to be a part of, or under the king they thought that was going to rule them. So leads to a lot of anti like dissolutionist stuff. But at this point, it's too late to really change direction. And yeah, the Tokyo, oh my god, the Tokyo thing is probably gonna get the worst out of all this, because nobody wants to really deal with all that, but they're gonna forcibly combine it into one big state, which is really gonna make a lot of people mad. Also, these two islands, they're just gonna get their own like government, as well as this Northern Ireland, maybe Northern Ireland, not Ireland, is gonna get split into three parts, and these guys are gonna be split into a north and south. Same with these guys, actually. Actually, no, we'll keep them one. Siberia, I think, can just be one state. Actually, they'll probably be invaded by Shanghai real soon, but for now, it's gonna be under Tokyo. Tokyo is gonna like own. Actually, no, these guys right here, they're gonna own Shanghai. Not Shanghai, Siberia, Japanese Siberia. So let me just color all this because this is gonna take a long time to color. So I'll be right back. Back. It looks like vomit. Like it looks like color vomit. It looks like I was drawing and like it looks like a kid drew this. Like look at the rest of the map. Your eyes literally go here immediately. This and this. Don't worry. Over the next few episodes, it will get better. Don't worry. Over the next few episodes, this is definitely like gonna be unified under Siberia. No, under Shanghai. Yeah. Anyway, over here, finally, we're gonna have our first real war of the video. That's gonna be between Athens and the Ottomans. Now, the Ottomans, they're basically going to do like a little invasion after the Athens basically announced that they are no longer seeking peaceful reunification with their Ottoman counterpart, which is like this land right here. Like this is the other part of Athens, but it's under Ottoman control. So they basically before they were like maybe let's try to work out some trade deals to get large parts of this back. Now there's basically saying they want to not only reunify with this, they don't care if it's peaceful, they'll do it any means necessary now, which includes military invasion. Um they also like they also basically express that they want to basically start a coalition with a bunch of European countries to kick the Ottomans out of Europe, which includes Italy and like this holdings. Africa isn't really Europe, so I don't care about that. Also, this, I guess. But yeah, Ottomans basically respond by saying, if you want to really like go, we can go band for band. You know, like if you really want to like beef with us, we will literally annihilate you. And they eventually, after like a lot of tensions, the Ottomans basically say that there needs to be a change of government in Athens and basically give Athens an ultimatum. Either you call a snap elections, which because of the Athens government, like knowing that their people really don't want war like this, and that the people definitely choose the most peaceful party government thing. Um, they basically know that for a fact, and so they don't really want to risk it. They know they're going to lose the election, so they basically reject the ultimatum. Ottomans basically decide that they'll get the ultimate. They'll do an election by force. They launch an invasion. Now, at first, people are like absolutely mad at the government. Like, why did you even let this slide? And then the government does one of the smartest things ever. They launch a major blitzkrieg invasion over here, and they play their cards absolutely perfectly. Like, absolutely perfectly. They launch a distraction. Ottomans instantly push them back, and Ottomans push them back a lot. Like they take the entire northern part of the country. But in doing that, they also give the Greeks, the Athen people, they give them basically confirmation that all their troops are in this land, because you can't respond that fast, especially when your empire is this vast and your army is not that big in numbers. You can't really respond that fast and send that many people that far deep into Athens territory, which basically confirms that they're not really protecting this land. Now, the reason it confirms this is because this is an active war zone. This is literally a big military base. This is an active war zone, like rebels everywhere here. This not really that, there's not a need for that many troops here, especially on Sicily. So the Greeks basically confirmed this. Athens, Greeks, same thing. They invade and they capture a large majority of Sicily and eventually all of Sicily. They also launch another invasion of the boot of Italy, and they basically use the Ottomans' tactics of capturing Italy against them to capture their own counterpart of Italy. And they're able to get pretty far deep into Italy before the Ottomans realize what has just happened. Now, Ottomans instantly respond, they take back Sicily, and they're able to push the Athens people, Greeks, back pretty far, but not far enough. Because Greece, from here, they do another thing. They capture the actual city of Athens. They're able to push over here and capture that. And they're also able to not only push a little bit far up, but they're able to do this, capture this, and that leads to them basically like taking over the supply lines for this entire thing, which leads to its capitulation. And then these guys need to pull out to basically go deal with this, which leads to them retaking this, but also leads to them losing that. You can see how Ottomans have kind of just like realized that this is maybe not the best thing that they're doing now. Eventually, after this far of a pushback, the Ottomans agree to an unconditional peace treaty. It's the first time in Ottoman history, other than when the red team was like invading and capturing all their territories, like way start at the start of the series. Other than that, this is like the first time in their modern history where they've been expanding so much that they agreed to an unconditional peace treaty. Now, taking a look at this peace treaty, it is not forgiving. The Greeks milk the Athen people. They milk Ottoman for everything they have. First of all, instantly, just all of this gone. All these like main lands that they just captured, that's all instantly getting returned to the Greeks. Instantly captured, not even a second thought, no hesitation. Secondly, border over here, redrawn. Redrawn. Just straight up redrawn. Like, I don't think you understand how bad of a treaty this is for the Ottomans, but I think the Ottomans, like, they've understood that they're not winning the war anymore. And the people, they've also rejoiced because Ottomans, they were like offering a lot of peace treaties, and people basically started to realize that, like, yeah, we're gonna win this. Secondly, Sicily. All of that, not Sicily, like the boot of Italy, that that's Greek now. That's just Greek now. Greek people, they control it. Ottomans, nah. What's even an Ottoman? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what Ottomans are. Like this is just Greek. Okay. Next, Sicily, split in half. Split in half. Actually, barely even half. Most of it's Greek now. That Greek. Yeah. Actually, matter of fact, the entire island. Except, actually, no, no. I think that might be a little bit too much. Most of the island. Let's leave the tips out of this. But other than that, rest of the island, Greek. Greek now. Just Greek. Just Greek. Um, this big military base. Well, the Greeks tried to, but like the Ottomans were like willing to go to war again over that, so they kind of like they beat that a little bit. But like the naval boundaries, which were previously just like this, like basically the naval zone, like the Ottomans were like basically blockading this stuff. Ottoman navy now needs to like pull out back until like minimum of like they can't come anywhere over here anymore. If they do, it will be a declaration of war. Ottomans, they're gonna pretty much try to respect that a lot. The Greek fishing boats that were getting like captured everywhere over here, like just bombarded by Ottomans, that needs to stop immediately. Yeah, immediately needs to stop. So yeah, and then now let's talk about economic reparations. The Ottoman GDP at this point is 15 trillion. The Greeks' GDP is only about 2 trillion. Yeah? Greeks want $5 trillion. 5 trillion. They want 5 trillion for themselves. 15? Yeah, 15 trillion. That's gonna be 10 trillion now. Actually, that means the Ottomans are more than the red team. Because red team was like 15. Like they got reduced from 95 to 15. I think they're probably starting to like get back now. They're probably at like 30 now. Like they're probably getting back. That means the blue team is at like at least minimum of 160. So yeah. Anyways, next episode I'll have that figured out and I'll give you the updated rankings. But yeah, Greeks, they have just completely embarrassed the Ottoman Empire in front of the entire world. Like this was embarrassing. Embarrassing for the Ottomans. So yeah, with that, it was kind of a long episode today, but like we had a lot of stuff happen and this is basically going to set off two major storylines for a lot of the upcoming episodes. And this is episode like 65, so we're like getting close to episode 100 where I plan on finally colonizing the Americas, or at least discovering them. You know, maybe they'll get the Australia treatment where they're basically like barely colonized. But yeah, definitely we will expand into that as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.